Hello out there, and welcome to the No Shit Cast. I'm your host, Matt Frazier. Count them two, in-studio guests today. My BJJ brother, Mr. Antony Hämäläinen. How you doing, buddy?
Good, sir. How are you doing?
And my BJJ sister, Miss Anna Smal, sitting in on the other microphone today. How are you?
What's up?
So, good shit. We were at class today.
Yep.
And it was like, hey, man, let's go record. We have a bunch of shit to talk about.
Sure.
So, most notably, crazy UFC event here this past, what was it, last weekend, right? Or the weekend before last?
Yeah, it was last week, wasn't it? October 6th. Which day was that?
Yeah, so
10 days ago.
10 days ago.
11 days ago.
Yeah, so we're talking about Conor McGregor and Khabib and then,
fucking shite, man. Fuck. You're a fucker.
And then all of the fallout from that's happened, air quotes fallout,
it was
right?
weird, right?
So anyway, first impression of that was, holy shit, this is awesome.
Right.
Okay. Second impression was, I don't know why anybody's surprised that people that are trained to fight are fighting,
right?
And don't seem to have a problem with it, you know.
Well, I don't know, man.
So how about you guys?
I didn't really care. I mean, just another incident to me. Who cares? It doesn't bother me. Yeah. I feel exactly like you. If it's a fight, and these guys have been throwing dollies at each other and stuff, man. So what did you think was going to happen?
Right.
Everyone wanted to see something like that, so here you go.
So you think you feel they got their money, everyone got their money's worth either way, right?
Definitely.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the fight was great. I mean, that is the opposite of what I thought was going to happen. Actually, I thought that McGregor might have been able to stuff him a little bit more, given the work that he did with Diaz,
in the fight itself.
Yeah. So, but maybe didn't train that hard for that one. Didn't really work as hard as it, I don't know.
Now, when it comes to the UFC,
he whooped his ass.
I'll freely admit I'm kind of a mental midget. Okay, I don't know. I mean, I'm just taking this journey at 40, in my 40s, right?
Sure.
But I did see the videos.
Hey, I started at 35 with jiu-jitsu, so
yeah,
I can't say nothing.
But in the videos where Khabib was actually talking to him while he was telling him, what was he saying? Let's talk now, right, or something like that. So during the fight, like, Khabib was actually like getting into Conor McGregor's. Have you guys seen these videos yet on YouTube or anything?
Well, I watched a little bit of. I think I saw a couple, but I mean, dude, everybody talks shit when they're fighting.
Yeah, dig it.
These guys do that all the time.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So that didn't probably do much. Dude, he fucking double-legged his ass and took him down and stuffed his legs with,
Wow,
man.
that was the plan, though.
And it works. And the dude worked his ass off and the guy fought bears when he was a kid.
Yeah, right.
So you can't fuck with these dudes.
No, and that's not even, you're not even joking about that.
Dagestanis, right, Anna? Tell them.
Yeah,
They'll cut your head off, she said.
Bad.
She said, dude, she predicted this. And, she doesn't know much. You've been watching fighting for how long? Probably?
Yeah, for not long.
Over a year? Maybe over a year?
Yeah.
So she's like you. She's just brand new in it, kind of. And she said she didn't even have to know that. She goes, these people do not fuck around.
Yeah,
he said some shit about his parents or whatever. And
you cannot scare them. Well, even, our people, like, you can't scare me into something, like, get in my head, especially, from Dagestan. Forget about it.
Yeah.
It's like a wall.
They're just super hard people.
Yeah, man.
And now you've got a peculiarly, is that a word?
Peculiar.
A peculiar, inside knowledge of this because of where you're from, right?
Yeah, well, I wouldn't say that I know so much about Dagestan, but there are a lot of similarities.
They're neighbors.
Yeah, we're neighbors, so, maybe they're a little bit more extreme in some things.
Yeah.
They really respect their elder, and it's like a whole big deal. That's why it was such a big deal when he was talking shit about him,
Yeah, the elder thing. They really respect their elders.
Yeah, you should respect your father.
Like
no
Russia,
matter, he can be a piece of shit, but you have to respect him.
So saying some shit about his dad was like, and they probably told him that, his team, he has Chechen people on his team. They probably told him that, hey, you want to get in his head, Here's a good way to do it.
Right.
Say that he's got a fucking chicken chin and that his dad sucks.
Well, that helps.
And it worked real fucking well.
Well, did it?
out.
But did
That's
it?
what I'm saying. It worked really well for the other guy. You know?
Yeah, I
It
mean,
worked really well.
It looks like it motivated if anybody got an advantage out of it, I don't think it was McGregor.
Oh,
No.
no.
It didn't. I mean,
No. But I don't
Holy
think
cow.
McGregor would have had an advantage anyway.
no.
No. I think he was done from the beginning. This guy was too good, man. This guy with the wrestling, it was just too good.
Do you think it's an age thing?
No. It's all technique.
So
It's
this is a
all
level. This is a whole new level then that
100.
we're talking about.
It's just another level of grappling. It's not a whole new level. There's dudes out there that do that all day. They just don't fight in the UFC. It's there. You know, you can go to it. There's gyms, dude, out in New York City you can go to where it's a sweat box and there's fucking,
those are
shoes
great.
piled up in the fucking corner, dude, and a puddle of disgusting sweat. And good luck with that mat because they probably didn't wash it and they're probably not going to wash it. And it's
God.
probably
It's
got
like
ringworm on
winter
it.
And it's hot
And
in
it's
there.
hot in there and there's
crazy.
heaters going on.
The
So that shit's
windows are
alive,
closed.
son. So yeah, man, you want to go to a fucking place and get your head smashed in. There's places to do it and guys that have been rolling since they were 1 year old.
Yeah.
And they're there, so you can go.
Holy cow!
You know, you obviously haven't been to that kind
No,
of place.
no. I mean, my first.
It's good not to be.
Not a place to hang out, huh?
10th Planet Newark's way cleaner.
Yeah.
Bring the wife and kids, right?
Yeah, no, they don't want no one else there except someone that's going to go to a place like that, dude's going there because they have a fight.
Yeah.
They're training for a fight, And these guys are just but there's just killers that just roll like that every day.
No shit.
Yeah.
I didn't even know that existed.
Sure,
Yeah,
like
it's great.
so these are like legit fight clubs then.
Kind of not really a fight club. I mean, it's just a shitty fucking. These guys are just paying shitty rent somewhere in the fucking
And
in the middle of
In a
the
little
middle of the
apartment in
Bronx
Brooklyn.
somewhere. Yeah, or whatever. And yeah, it's just a small little space, and it's just gross.
oh,
But but there's gyms that are great, like the one we came from, or Dan Cobal's gym, or Marcelo Garcia's gym, or
Yeah.
Those are sweet.
those are nice. Those are nice gyms. But, they sweep, they fucking clean up.
Yeah.
They're professional. You
Yeah.
know, these guys are black belts and stuff. They're professional. But then there's places that ain't.
Mm-hmm.
And those exist. I've been into them in Florida. I've been
Yeah.
to play on tour and stuff, or recording with people and shit. I've gone to gyms and stuff and checked it out. And,
I think the closest I've ever seen John coming to being mad is about hygiene.
oh yeah,
And
well,
Yeah.
he should
and
be.
cleanliness
Yeah,
in the gym.
any good coach is gonna be mad about that, man.
Yeah, he's
For real.
manic about that
Good.
shit.
Yeah. Every good coach will
Yeah.
be because they don't want, like their students to get diseases because,
Yeah.
dude, they're not going to come back.
Right.
They're going to fucking not pay you money.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
over.
it's
You know?
surprising that the places like you're talking
You have to
about,
go to
though-
work the next day, man. Not the other guy. The other guy who's the gym rat that's like, or working out there every day. Sure, he doesn't have to go to work every day, but the other dudes do. So that's what the
Yeah.
good coaches will watch out for that.
Yeah.
Be like, don't leave your toenails out. Shit. Don't take bird baths. You know what I mean? There's a funny people taking bird baths
That
and
was
shit
great.
in these places, man. That taking forever in a bathroom, and they're in there washing up, dude, washing their bodies, because they don't want to go home stinking, or they're going to go to work or something like that, Yeah,
It's
dude.
pretty gross. Yeah.
It's pretty gross. Yeah.
Oh my god. Well,
That's why I always had defense wipes. When I worked in the city, when I worked in New York City,
Yeah.
I would take the subway to work, and then in my lunchtime, I had like a when you work IT, you work, you understand, what IT people do. Like
Yeah, piss me off. That's
Yeah,
what
right.
they do. Sorry.
it's
That's
cool.
the whole agenda. It's like
I,
number one.
I know, dude. That's the biggest stigma of being an IT person.
Oh.
Is like you always are like, dude, we hate talking to you, man.
Well, it's and to be fair, now,
Yeah.
to be fair, I'm always invading their world.
No, I understand.
Okay, so I
understand.
get it, but
I've
then
just
it's
grown
like,
numb to it. But
just open the fucking ports, okay?
But one
Just
good thing
trust
about
me.
being an IT guy, man, is that you guys some free time. For
Yeah.
your lunch, you could take a little longer.
Yep.
So I would hop on the train and I'd go down to do a morning class with Dan Coble and stuff, and then I'd wipe down with the defense wipes. Because I had to go back to fucking work, for another 4 hours, man.
Yep.
And I can't sit there and funk. You know what I mean, dude? So you had to. So I'd either
Ferment.
You can't ferment, man. You know what I mean? You can't ferment.
It's a bridge too far. And your coworkers thanked you for that, I'm sure.
Of
Yeah.
course.
Yeah.
I hate being the stinky guy. I don't ever like that.
Yeah.
No, I'm just not. It's not me.
It's a weird day, right? When you do a morning class because you get up, take a shower. You have to take a shower before you go to class, and then as soon as you're done, you get home. You got to take it's like there's like a 4-hour cycle, and you're just back in the shower.
Well, yeah, I mean, once we're done, we actually we wipe down with the defense wipes, and then go home and take a shower.
Wow,
so you do both. You have to do both.
And that's a precaution against
just ringworm and stuff like that, right? Staph. Pink eye. Dude, if I'm shoving my ass in your face, man. You know? Right. You know what I'm saying? If those underwear aren't clean and my shorts aren't clean and my spats aren't clean or my rash guard isn't clean, I've seen fucking people, dude. I'm not gonna name names, but I know some motherfuckers, dude, that I've seen. I'm not gonna name names.
Don't name it. Yeah, don't. Let's not drop the dime, man.
Nobody you know, but I know motherfuckers that I've totally seen come to a morning class, and then I seen that motherfucker just take that shirt off, put it in the back of his car, and then get there, and then get back and pull that motherfucker back out. Oh, you dirty son of a bitch.
Especially in the summertime. That thing's just sitting in there
especially
cooking.
if you live in Arizona.
No.
So, but, I fucking rolled with him first, so I didn't give a fuck. Because I knew I'd go home and wash my shit.
Yeah. Yeah. I've only encountered one instance so far where, and I think it was just probably like a long night before drinking kind of thing. It wasn't like it wasn't a cleanliness thing.
Or someone smelled.
It was like they were just off gassing the alcohol.
Totally. I mean, I smell weed all the time on these guys from some of these gyms, dude.
Yeah.
You can be like, oh wow, because it's big and
because they start breathing heavy and it starts coming up out of their lungs.
Yeah, in jiu-jitsu, marijuana is a huge thing. So you can tell who the guy who's smoking weed is before class too, because it smells so much like weed. or you smell someone's breath and you go, oh, what did you eat, man?
Right? Yeah. Was you eating lawn clippings? What are you doing?
Smells like a cookie mixed with something. Really weird amount of breath. You have good breath, man. What happened?
I don't even know if people give a shit anymore, man. I don't care. I don't care anymore. It doesn't bother me a bit.
Yeah, people don't care.
I don't care. No, it's just funny. It's just funny to smell all the different smells. You get to smell people on people when you're in jiu-jitsu. There's
a big proposition. If you're voting in Ohio, get your ballot. There's a big proposition. I didn't even know it was on there. It basically what it's doing is it's decriminalizing. That's the wrong word. It significantly lowers the criminalization of everything. I mean, it's like a constitutional thing, man.
That's awesome because
it favors rehab over incarceration. Sure. It's like a whole new.
They just moved it to another category.
Yeah. So basically,
I mean, why? I mean, that was another idea I always thought of. Was like, why can't you just make a lot of these places that are prisons rehabs and give these guards, you have to guard these people. You have to make them go to rehab. These people aren't going to want to fucking go. So these people still need jobs, right?
Yeah, it's a whole different mentality,
You can just change the idea. You don't have to take the people's jobs away or, whatever. Most people think if I don't arrest people for marijuana, then I'm not going to have a job.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's just a bunch of old
bullshit. It's expensive.
Talk.
It's expensive to incarcerate people for not hurting anybody but themselves, man. I mean, it's stupid, you know.
It doesn't make any sense.
But yeah, to your point, what it basically does is if you're not what they consider to be it's really focused on the user, not the seller, or what would that be called, the dealer.
The dealer. Yeah.
Okay, so if you're a dealer. It doesn't apply to you. If they categorize you as a dealer, then none of this applies. So what it is it's for people that have addiction and things like that. But they're taking it's not even a felony is what this thing does. Okay. It puts it down in the misdemeanor, probation kind of range. So you're not.
That's great.
And when you really think about it, at the end of the day, that's kind of what we're doing anyway.
Yeah.
To first offenders, they just run in, plead guilty, get some probation, you throw because
some community service.
Yeah, or something, there's no room to lock them up anymore. But the problem is now you're giving them a felony drugs conviction. And then
I did community service once to get out of a HOV lane ticket.
Is that right?
Do you know what HOV lane is?
Yeah, oh, absolutely. High occupancy vehicle lanes.
Yeah, they have them in Arizona, dude, and they're like $600 tickets, dude.
Yeah, they're bad.
Dude. Yeah, and I got to do like a thing where I went and just hung out with a bunch of cats.
What?
I need to go
Like
driving.
cats as in cool people or actual felines?
Actual felines.
No.
Yeah.
You did community service to watch some fucking cats.
No. You go to like a shelter and you help out.
Oh, okay. I
Yeah.
get the
They have
angle
cats
now.
there.
Okay.
And they have like
Basically
dogs.
hanging out
Yeah.
with cats.
Yeah,
So,
and you get to play with them and stuff like that, and it was hilarious. And if people don't know, but a buddy of mine had told me that if you do that, if you just say that to the judge when you're there, and don't just pay the ticket. No. Say I want to do community service instead, and they'll say 9 times out of 10 they'll say yeah, go ahead, and then prove it to me, bring it back something that says that you did it, and I did, and the lady signed it for me, and I went, and he was like, cool, okay, you don't have to pay it, and I didn't have to pay $600.
That would be a much better model, wouldn't it?
It is a better model. I don't know. I would think so. But you just have to ask. But some people just want to pay the ticket because they don't want to do anything. They don't want to take a class because there was another option. You could take a class on driving, and then they knock off $300 of it, and you only pay like $200 for the class, and you can do it online at your house. Okay. And I was like, fuck that too. You know what I mean? How about no money at all, asshole? Let's just do that, and I'll go help some cats and have fun with them, and I did. Oh, yeah. Just trying to outthink the system.
You're just cheap, man. That's what it was.
I don't know. Maybe that was it. But I was just like, you know what? I think I could do something better. And I was just talking to my friend of mine who actually did jujitsu with me, and then and he was someone who worked in social work and stuff.
Right.
He knew some stuff about the law, and he just told me that. He goes, just go tell the judge. Just go tell the judge that they'll let you do it, man. And then you watch, you get out of the ticket, and I did, and it fucking worked.
Now, was you in the HOV lane? Did you know you were in the HOV?
Fuck yeah! I was trying to get to work, son.
You were late.
Hell yeah!
Yeah.
What are you talking about? I lived in Maricopa.
And then you see that lane sitting over there with nobody in it, while everyone's packed over here.
The cop waits for you, bro. They wait for you on the side, just like that, and they're sitting outside their car, looking. Over the car like that, and as soon as you pass by and they see that there's no one next to you, they just get in their car and go, because there's no one in that lane, so it's easy for them to catch you.
So back, back during the 2000,
I got like 2 of those in Arizona.
What was it? 2008. The Mitt Romney Barack Obama presidential election around that time frame is why I remember this. That's how long ago it was, right? Mitt Romney famously made this quote that corporations are people. So a dude, I think it was in Connecticut.
Yeah, he's a weird ass Mormon.
He put the incorporation paperwork in the passenger seat of his car and started driving in HOV lanes to get caught, so that he could say, no, there were 2 people in the car, because a corporation's a person, right?
There you go.
And I thought that, okay, this is hilarious. I get what he's doing.
Did he get away
here.
with that? He should have.
Okay. What was crazy about the whole story was how long it took for him to actually get pulled over and given a ticket.
Oh.
It
took
didn't.
him a while.
Yeah, it took months. I'm thinking, well, shit, man.
No, that's true. That's actually something I'll tell you. That's why I kept doing it, man. It's because
you were getting away with it.
Always. Yeah. And I didn't have to do it, actually, guys, for very long. That was the thing. When I was working, I didn't have to do it for very long. I worked there for like 3 years, though. So that's why I definitely got caught like 4 times doing it. But it definitely happened very, very little amount of time, because it's so crammed. Yeah, a cop does not want to sit there with traffic.
Well, and they might be handling an accident, or
that's the other thing. They need them for that, doing that stuff. So normally they weren't there, but when they were, they got pay dirt. $600, dude. And it's it.
I think the jury. I don't know if I think those actually work or not. Those high occupancy vehicle lanes.
They do, man. They totally do. They work. They just need people to follow the rules and just.
Well, that's the thing. The purpose behind them is to try to force behavioral change, which is to make more people ride in the same car.
Yes,
you know what I mean. That's sort of the idea.
Have a person that you work that you live next to, and then have.
Hell no.
Why?
Whatever. I don't like people. I ain't driving. Nobody.
Yeah, but if it's a neighbor and it's a friend,
and that's the problem.
Well, let's say you live next to. Let's say you live next to Matt. You live next to Matt, right? Okay. Well, you see what I mean? And you and Matt are going both. You're going downtown to Columbus. You're both going downtown. Wouldn't you do it?
Well, yeah.
He has to be at work at 8:30, and so do you.
Okay.
Would you not do it?
I will do it.
You both save gas. You drive one day. He drives the next day.
Well, we'll have to be really good friends.
And you guys get to work. You guys don't have to leave until like 8. Yeah. You know what I mean? Because you'll be in an HOV lane and you go, you know what I mean? It takes less time. Whereas everyone else is wall to wall sitting there.
But I see how, because it takes a lot.
Because it's also because Phoenix is packed. There's a lot of people there, so.
I think
Tempe,
like Lyft and Uber and those
y'all
guys
need to move out.
because I think what Uber's doing now to sort of fix that is they're doing like a party Uber. Have you seen this?
No.
It's a lower cost one, but you're sort of like, I think the way it works is you're sort of like on
it's like
on
the
the
Lyft
way.
thing, Anna.
So while
like
you're
the
being,
Lyft thing.
yes,
like the
someone's like some computer is organizing these pickups to sort of make the people be on the way. You know what I mean? So you might be in your Uber and then they stop and pick somebody else up.
Okay.
Yes,
and then
they have this for Lyft. And
So
we
it's
did
like
this.
a VIP bus. It just comes picks
Well,
you up.
no, you remember this, man. You
Without
fucked-
the-
you
I
fucked
know,
up our
no,
Lyft
but
in New
the
York
thing-
and did that
No,
shit.
I did not fuck it up.
She
It was-
did, dude.
it-
She
it-
got the community Lyft or whatever that was. And some random chick was in our car, and I was like, "Oh God, dude,
He doesn't
great."
understand. I'm totally fine with it. I will ride with a random chick.
Just
in my
because
car.
you wanted to pay $9 less or something
Yes.
than normal. Well, it's not $9 does not break the bank, and
No,
if
I'm
it does, we have a
totally fine.
problem.
I'm
But
so-
there you go. There's the behavioral change because you had just said, I'm not riding in a car with somebody else to drive to work, right?
See, yeah,
but
that's weird, but
to
you'll do it
save
for a Lyft.
$9, you would do it for Lyft.
Oh, well,
But you're
for
saving
sure.
gas money doing it for the HOV lane too.
Well, true.
So that's why you do
great.
it.
But it's a big change, so I see why it takes so long to get people to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So so what you're seeing is the instantaneous difference in cost, and you're like, oh, I can quantify that. But like you can drive down the HOV lane for 3 months and go fuck the ticket. You know, it's a punitive thing, and you may not suffer it.
Yeah.
But here, it's like it's one way or the other. So
Yeah.
I'll change the behavior there.
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
it's kind of. So that's what I mean. I almost think that those things like HOV lanes and stuff are sort of being rendered kind of obsolete. Because of ride sharing applications
Well, that's
and
good.
stuff now.
That's good. I mean, because it sucks fucking getting that ticket, dude. Let me tell you. I got 4 of them. I got like 4 of them.
Well, just go
And I
hang
remember
out
it
with
was so long ago that I remember when it was like only $300.
Yeah.
And I paid that one. And then that's when they were like, these people are fucking paying this shit. We need to we need to hike it up.
Yeah.
They're just paying it. And then it was like $500-$600.
Yeah, because it's worth it. It's okay. It's a $300 every 3 months. So $100 a month, but I save an hour every morning on my commute to work. Shit, that's worth it. I'll pay it, right?
The life and times of the HOV lane.
Like balancing it out. Cost basis justification.
It's awesome.
I won't be able to eat for a week if they catch me.
But maybe not. I'll get lucky.
That's fucked up.
That's fucked.
So we talked about the UFC.
Yeah.
We got that covered.
Cool.
And so what's going on with you in music now lately?
Well, it's the same, almost.
Yeah.
Yeah, still working on
You had some new songs come out since the last time, or at least one new track I thought came out since you've been on.
Well, it was I think we did a Forever Burn song. Yeah. I think
Yep.
Something came out. Yeah. Well, we're going to play a show with Forever Burn. We talked about that. We found a drummer, like a real drummer, instead of using like the program drums.
Yep.
And it's a buddy of ours from Boston. He's a Greek guy named Yanis. He's a Malaka. He's cool. So we're gonna probably play a show sometime around February. We're looking at, and we might do it in New York. So that's the plan, man. And,
Whoop whoop.
Back to New York, huh?
just for the show, we might do it in New York. We're trying to look for some venues or something because we have another friend of ours, this other band that's pretty popular out there for this kind of stuff. And they wanted to do a show with us. So we're like, okay, cool. Like, that'd be nice to do. And they do like, they're pretty big out there for doing like they do Megadeth only from 85 to 90. Like they just do like the classic old stuff. And they do it like the fucking records. Like they sound like them.
So it's a cover type.
They're like, yeah, they do like cover music. It's pretty nice.
And it's they only it'd be like covering only the Beatles from the 50s.
Something like that. Isn't that weird?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was fun though. So they're called Last Rites, and so we're trying to do something like that with them, and probably around like November. I'm doing something else in November, but in February we're looking to do maybe a show or something.
Cool.
Because then we'll have some time to promote it and make sure we have a good venue and stuff. So,
Yeah, I dig it.
yeah, so it'll be fun.
And you guys got to, I mean, if he's from Boston, you have to spend at least some time together.
Yeah,
right?
we'll just. I mean, he's so good. He's a great drummer. So
Yeah, I guess
he's just going to rehearse the songs, and then we'll
right.
probably get together like maybe right before the show or
Yep.
something, or maybe not even.
Sound check and then
We
hit
have
it.
to do that, dude. Like, I'm serious. Like, we could just.
Yeah, when you get the right people together.
That's the deal. Like, if you know how to play,
Yeah.
like we did like stuff in Armageddon. I mean, there was sometimes we just only practiced like twice, 3 times, and that was it. And then we just went and just played and just fucked people up because everybody just knows what they're doing.
Yeah.
So
Everybody knows their part and just fits right in and off you go.
Well, everyone's just a really professional musician and works on their stuff and knows their part and knows how to move on stage and knows what to do. We don't have to that's why you're professional.
It is nice, isn't it?
Yeah,
That's why they pay us money.
Yeah, that's why I get paid something. Not actually.
Because I'm a musician.
Yeah, which I do stuff for fun without being paid. I don't just get paid all the time, but sometimes I just do fun projects just because they're good. So like the music,
The life of a traveling musician.
Yeah, sometimes you travel. I haven't traveled in a while. It's actually been nice to kind of relax and be in sort of the one place.
Build roots.
Yeah, dude, build a little route here and there. Yeah, I was traveling for so much. A few years ago, just never stopped.
Yeah.
Pretty much, and went from night raid straight into Armageddon pretty much. So didn't really have any breaks. And then now it's been nice to have a little bit of break.
Yeah.
It's cool. Yeah.
Now, where did you guys meet? In New York?
Oh, yeah.
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 It was in New York.
She met me in New York.
Yes.
Yep.
Well, I got the eyebrow raise
drummer.
on that question. Look at it. I said,
I just forgot. I just forgot. Like, oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
It was in
it's
New
like
York. We did
so,
meet there.
Yep.
Yeah, we met there and through my drummer. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I had been friends with him for a while.
She knew him for a while, so it's cool.
Yeah, he's like, oh, check out the show. I'm like, yeah, cool.
I met her there. I was like, what's up?
So,
Real easy.
so you're also a fan of this particular music
the-
scene too,
yeah.
right? Yeah.
But she likes more like the new metal shit. Like she likes
I
like
do
Korn
enjoy the
and
new
like
metal
fucking
shit,
Limp
the
Bizkit and
Slipknot.
shit.
Slapknot.
Slapknot.
I do like
Like
Slapknot.
Slapknot.
Yes. Yeah, they're great.
Dong dong dong.
Big old freak on a leash and all that kind of stuff.
Well, I'm child of that generation. So
Yeah.
Shit's terrible.
So, what can you
Shit's
do?
terrible, son. I'll
Well,
preach it right now.
I know. I hear
All
it
that
every
shit's
day.
terrible.
Don't forget. I hear
Raise the
everything.
axe, dude.
All right. So
Raise
who
the axe.
controls the radio? Is it depend on who's
We have
driving?
a lot of overlapping.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't care.
Or the playlist,
Yeah.
I should
Dude,
say.
I can tune anything out, dude. I've been in a band, dude. Do you understand the garbage that I've had to fucking hear from people? It's
Yeah.
ridiculous, dude. I've heard some bullshit. I've heard some shitty bands that they played, and I've heard people just like playing instruments in a studio, in a rehearsal room. That's probably the most annoying shit ever.
Yeah.
But these guys are just like, and the drummer's just like, sweet, dude. Listen to that. It's like, oh god, shut the fuck up and play a song.
When you spend so much time like playing guitar or singing, I'm sure is exactly the same way. Refining a perfection of pitch.
Yeah.
When you listen to people that don't even bother, does it like set your teeth? Like, are you even fucking trying?
It depends on what it is,
set
man.
your teeth on edge.
Like, I'll tell you, there's like some stuff I like that I'll play her, dude. Like some stuff I grew up with, or just even stuff from that genre. Like, I like a lot of like punk stuff, so I'll play her some stuff like with like girl punk bands and stuff, and she'll be like, "What the fuck is that?" And they're off, you're off key, and they're screaming, and they're like if I play her like Bratmobile or something, like she's just like, "What the fuck?"
Well, then I tune off. I just shut my.
Yeah, and to me, I get it. I like that shit. But those girls are out of tune and off time, so it's, but it's interesting music. I like it.
Yeah, is it music or is it art?
It's a bit of both. Yeah, it's like avant-garde type of stuff, and some of it's not. Some of it's like straight up, good songs.
Jazz. There's forms of jazz that play all the wrong notes. Together.
Sure.
Is that? But it's still considered music because it's so mathematically hard to do.
It's like it's like math.
Yeah.
Has a lot of metals like that. That's why I like a lot of stuff. Like that's why I like the bands. Some of the bands I'm in. Like it's one of the reasons I like being in Armageddon was because the music was so complicated. Sometimes, and then sometimes it wasn't, and that's a cool blend. Like Nordjärvi is like that as a project I did with some guys, and they were all different musicians. Like the drummer was from some. He'd played in some death metal bands, but he'd played in some like power metal bands, like classical heavy metal bands. And then like the keyboard player was only playing in like power metal, like mystical bands and stuff. And then, the guy who was writing the songs, he's like into more like melodic death metal. And the bass player is like a jazzy bass player, and it's like, this really weird mix of guys coming together and doing, something
that's like
not the same as, you hear all the time.
The Police are like that.
Yeah, the Police are cool like that. I love
They
the Police.
shouldn't work together for a lot of reasons.
Well, I mean, yeah, I mean, and Sting's crazy.
Yeah, but their music weirdly fits, even though that they come from such different.
And he's figured that out after getting older, because when he was younger, because I'm a huge Sting fan.
Yeah.
And when he was younger, he just hated those guys. Because they just didn't play, like as professional as possible. He wanted to play with like the best reggae guitarist in the world. And not.
Yeah.
But hey, Stuart Copeland has a swing to it.
Yep.
It's like it's got this thing that it's like same thing with, I'd say, like Guns N' Roses, man. Guns N' Roses, Steven Adler has a swing to his drums.
Yeah.
That's him playing the drums.
So you didn't care for the Matt Sorum replacement?
I like Matt Sorum.
Yeah.
I love the Cult. That's sweet.
He's a crazy good drummer,
yeah,
too.
Dude, for sure.
Way more technical, though.
Yeah, I mean, and again, like they were in a different place when they got that guy. They were on top of the world. When they got Steven Adler, they were just trying to figure this out, and that is
there's Sunset Strip in it still.
Yeah, that's organic, and so it just depends on what era you like, I guess. Then at that point, because then it becomes about eras. I think. Use Your Illusion. I think they were just fucking crazy.
Yeah,
Axl Rose was just trying to reinvent the wheel or something.
Yeah, I think he was pushing every boundary he could push at the time.
Yeah,
and feeling empowered to do so.
And he had the money to do it. Yeah, everybody listened to him. He was the most powerful guy in music.
The worst, my wife and I were talking about this the other day, because there's this really cool, I'm going to do a separate podcast on this thing I found about this treasure hunter and stuff. But one of the worst things that could happen to somebody that's into that shit would be to actually find something, right? There's that thing that happens where, okay, so like, here's how gambling problems start. You put a quarter in a slot machine, pull the handle, and you win.
Right.
That's more likely, you see what I mean? To think, oh, well, that's easy.
Yeah.
So I think what happens to some of these people is they find that lightning in the bottle, and but they don't respect that it's also got to do with time and the mood and all these other convergences that you happen to hit it. And then they think, well, obviously when I push the limits, I make and create big, amazing things. So that must be what I should do.
Sure.
And then they just go ape shit.
Yeah.
Because they're off the leash now. They've had reinforcement that they're correct.
All they have to do all day at that point is work on music.
Yeah.
So it can become grander and bigger and, build.
And sometimes it works. Queen.
Sometimes it works. There's a very great example.
Metallica
is a example.
Yeah.
Those guys
Guns
just
N'
did
Roses
nothing
for
but
sure.
write. They just sat there and just came up with all these ideas and stuff.
But that's where you end up with those one-hit wonders kind of thing. I think it's like there's a piece of it there, too, of having that astronomical success and thinking, oh, it's all because of me.
Sure.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people like that think like it's all because of me. Yeah.
It's so hard, right? I mean, when you look at the especially today, like that Sunset Strip thing doesn't exist today, does it?
No, but it's there. I've played there. I mean, I played at the Whiskey before. I can't remember where else I played in California. But yeah, I mean, it's still there, but it's not like
that's what like that. It used to be this weird melting pot that all kinds of
you go down to the Rainbow, dude. Everyone's just all like, "Ew, what's up, dude?" Like there's just like
it's a whole different vibe.
Oh,
now,
it's hilarious, dude. I never could get into it. I went there a couple times just to check it out and stuff like that, just to see it. But I'm not that type of person, man. Just not that, just not into it. Just don't like it. It's fake.
Yeah.
It's a bit fake, for me. So, I mean, I'll go there with you, though, and have a beer. I don't give a fuck,
But you're not going to hang out there.
Fuck no.
Day,
I'm not like, I have to go to the Whiskey. I fucking gotta go to the Rainbow, dude. It's the only way we're going to make it. Like, no, dude, you have to just write songs and fucking bust your ass and go on tour. Like, that's the only way. Sit there, right? If you're at the Whiskey and you're at the fucking Rainbow or if you're at the Viper Room or whatever, you're not on tour. You're not writing songs. So you're not learning anything. You're bullshitting.
Well, that's the whole, if you're not moving forward, you're moving backwards, right? Yep. Kind of ideal.
You gotta move forward, man.
Yeah.
And that's what I do even. Like, even if I don't like tour a lot, like I still keep writing and still keep doing projects and stuff like that.
Yep.
It's just
there's no doubt
I want to do.
You're absolutely artistically active all the fucking time, man. Jeez, prolifically active.
I try to be.
Yeah,
I do stuff all the time. It's fun. I like it.
It's the same thing. We were talking about this before we started recording, right? We were talking about how there's this that you get that same feeling in jiu-jitsu that you get when you finish a song.
That's why I think musicians are drawn to jiu-jitsu a bit. It's because like when you write the perfect chorus or what you think is perfect or or you write something really cool with a friend of yours, you know, and it started from this little riff and, you know, this kind of thing. And then it turns into, you're just like, wow, dude, this is something I would listen to. You know? So, and then when you worked all this time as well to build up your game on jiu-jitsu to, you know, make sure that, you know, this guy moved this way, I have an answer for it. You know, okay, I moved this way, I have an answer for it. Okay, now I've got him, you know, or something like that.
Right.
So, you know, of course, it's not that simple, but I mean, I'm just breaking it down for the sake of argument. But yeah, so it feels like the same feeling when you get to tap. You know, it's like, okay, it's like that kind of like release sort of thing. Like, okay, I finally figured out what the fuck I'm doing.
Got the accomplishment.
Yeah, I know I'm not that dumb, you know, as I thought I was.
I got a little victory.
Yeah, you know, or maybe even like with the song, you know, you go, is this stupid? Like, does this sound stupid? Yeah. You know what I mean? And she's heard me do that before, like, as I'll be sitting there blasting stuff, and I'll go, that's dumb. I am not putting that out.
This is not
right?
And it takes some time, you know, to get it done.
It's funny that how and the same way both of those things can be equally humbling. Like you put something out and it sucks. It sucks.
Yeah, I mean, I've been in the studio and I haven't like been able to like get stuff done, you know, the way I wanted it to be 100%, you know, or you know, had somebody say, hey, try it like this, and you know, you're not really figuring out each other's ideas out, you know, and you know, me and Nick Zeros used to do that a lot. You know, when we'd record together for some fucking reason. If we did clean vocals, it always turned into a fight. Always turned into a fight, dude. And I was like, fuck it. We're never doing clean vocals ever again. It's over.
Forget about it.
That's it, dude. And he's like, no, dude, this sounds like shit. It sounds like it's all off, man. You need to do it again. Do it again. Do it again. I'm like, you're just telling me to do it again just to do it again. Yeah. Now you're just telling me to do it again just to do it again. He's like, I don't want to fix this in fucking Attitude. I'm like, well, don't then. Just no more clean vocals. Take it out altogether. But then someone would end up making it in the end of the fucking mix somehow.
Well, and that's what I was saying. I wanted to mention this on the show because Anna's the person that made me pay for a mistake that I learned not to make on day one.
Oh, shit. Oh yeah, you crossed the Rubicon, my friend.
Mistakes, man.
Don't do that, bro. Don't cross your feet.
And that's so very.
That's a white belch mistake.
Humbling, you know. There's a
hey
humbling
man, I've
caught
brown belts in that.
Is that right? Crossing their feet.
100%. Huh? I'll tell you, I caught a Shogun brown belt in that shit.
Is that significant? I don't know. What's a Shogun brown belt?
A guy who's a Shogun brown belt. That's all I'm gonna say. I fucking reaped his asshole with that. Okay, and it's funny. And he tapped quick, and he's like, I've never seen that before. I'm like, it's because all you do all day, dude, is just, I don't know. I don't know what you're doing, but it's painful. You're definitely ignoring 50% of the body. You're definitely ignoring the other part of the body when it comes to jiu-jitsu, which isn't good, you know. So it's cool, you know, for you to learn that, so you'll never do it again, man.
Well, I don't know about that.
Well.
Okay. I got, like I said, I learned that on day one because I got caught doing it. So to break this down, what we're talking about is when you're trying to choke somebody from behind. It's so funny we're talking about this like so casually. So anyway, we're simulating murder.
I mean, this is it's just that it's such a small mistake, common mistake.
So when you have your legs wrapped around a person, the instinct is to cross your feet to try to hang on to them.
Yeah, to keep them tighter.
To keep
and it works. It works.
And
that works.
It works until you run into somebody like Anna.
Yep. Someone who's
holy shit, that hurts when you. So she takes her leg and then like hooks it over top of my feet.
Yes.
And then just drives my feet
and then
down.
takes the other foot and hooks it onto her foot and then pushes down on her foot that's hooked over your foot. So it's even worse.
So that was a 4-day bruise.
Shit.
Man.
On the back of my calf.
Yep.
That was I'll remember.
One time, dude. So
why do you think I tapped out so freaking fast? She was like, "Oh," I was like, "Yeah, we're done. You got me. Let me go."
So John Bateo from 10th Planet Phoenix loves to bust on me for this shit because I used to do this to fools all the time. All right, and then after I would do it, I'd just like be like, "Dude, that's the move of all moves, dude. I'm just gonna let everyone take my back, dude. And they're gonna cross their feet." And he was just like, "Dude, shut up." And then one time, Cody Elmer had me in close guard. Okay, and we were just talking shit, and then I was like, "Hey, coach, look," and he looked over, and I flipped around, and I just took his feet and did it to him, and he tapped, and he's a purple belt, and he's like, we were just fucking around, and he was like, "Oh my god, dude, you got to stop this shit, dude." You know, so you can't force it like that.
Yeah.
That's the secret move.
That's the secret move. Yeah, it's pretty funny.
Well, it hurts like hell. I'll attest to that. It hurts like hell.
It's like John Barrow said too. You know, that's a move he's never had to teach anybody.
Really?
Yeah. You know why?
Because you'll learn it on your own real quick.
100%.
Don't do that.
Someone else will show it to you.
Yeah.
And it's a very simple mistake. And you know, again, if there's a school that doesn't do leg locks, you know, like the Shogun school or whatever, then they're not going to know anything about that. And they're never going to know to even attack the foot because it's not even something, the feet aren't even something that's brought up ever. Yeah. That's just, the feet are just something they use to run around the fucking gym with. And that's it. And then after that, they don't exist. So if you have that mentality, then you're going to get caught by you know, white belts and shit who know that.
Yeah.
You know that. You know what I mean? And if that guy got your back and did that to you now, and you did that to him, you would have been a white belt tapping a fucking brown belt. Yeah. Think about that shit.
Yeah.
All right?
Yeah, I guess you're right. Because I would have never thought to do what you did. You know, unless somebody had pointed out, oh, by the way, when someone crosses their feet, do this.
Well,
and they'll let go of you real quick.
The first person to ever do it to me was Steel Levine, and that's John Bateo's brown belt at 10th Planet Phoenix. And he let me take his back, and he, you know, let me definitely. I was a white belt. He let me take his back, and I crossed my feet. And then he just like said, check this out. And then he just did it to me. And I was like, you motherfucker. Yeah. Like, what the fuck, dude? There's nothing I can do to like, you know, you feel hopeless at that point, you know. But then I was like, shit, you know, I get my back taken a lot. And everybody was always doing that. And I would tap more people with that than anything else when I first started.
Oh, yeah. You tap. Because the pain is so bad, man. It loads up like right now. It's like, oh shit.
And you can kind of do that too if someone you know figure fours you, puts you in a body triangle. Yeah, you know what I mean, and you lay down on their leg, you know, and then you hold it there, and then you what is that called? You're bridging up, I guess. Then you can kind of do it there too, but their foot has to be caught for that to happen. Yeah, basically.
Yeah, and you want to tighten those things kind of up, so you put yourself in the worst possible position.
Actually, I would hold on to your hand and like hold it like this, and hold on to your arm, and then use this as leverage. I'm hoping that you're gonna try to choke me there, so I can get it, so I can hold it like a baseball bat, and then jump as hard as I can, and then you're gonna fucking tap. So.
It didn't. That flow we did today, it didn't dawn on me until after class. I was home. I was actually standing in the shower. It dawned on me.
Which one?
So we did
the lesson or the beginning flow.
The end where we were doing the Japanese necktie. Yeah. And then the DARS. Right. And it just finally hit me that what John was pointing out was, okay, keep the legs for the Japanese necktie. Yes. And then the next piece was and then here's the DARS. And I went, oh, that's in case you don't get the legs. Of course. Then you just transition into this neck. Yeah. Oh, son of a bitch! It finally hit me. You know, because I was like,
because you could
get the revelation.
Yeah, the revelation happens in the shower. But you could get the necktie and hold that with your hands. Yeah. And this dude's legs could get out of that. So then it's over if you don't have those legs with the necktie. It's not gonna
exactly.
So if that dude's squirrely, like for some reason he's squirrely, you've got another option.
Yep.
That's the whole idea. That's why they do an hour class there as a long class, you know, so you get all those little pieces, all those little details. It's great.
Yeah, but I didn't pick that up in class. That was like, oh, by the way, if you lose the legs, this is the next piece of sort of how that fits together.
I thought it was just obvious.
I don't know what the hell I'm doing, man. I get
that's if you lose the legs, you have that right there. Just go right to that head and arm style choke and bang, and just slither down. Anna hates that one. You know
what?
The head and arm choke.
Oh, it's the worst.
Oh, they're brutal.
She taps before I even get down, man.
I like doing
Tap too quick, son.
Well, whatever, man. Whatever.
Stop tapping so quick.
I will tap when I want.
I'll tap when I'm damn good and ready to tap.
Yeah, I can tap even when you don't touch me. I'll just tap right there. I'm not feeling like it. That's
what Dan Cole always told me. Dan Cole would be like, don't be a pussy, man.
That's the motto.
Is that his motto?
For me it was, because I was always a pussy and I rolled him. He crushed me. Marcelo Garcia black belt, dude.
Yeah, it's not a comfortable thing.
Fuck no, especially in the gi. He fucking ripped my throat out.
Yeah,
it's amazing. It teaches you a lot, you know, to get beat up like that.
I got a buddy of mine that's going to be coming on the show here. He's actually a Navy buddy of mine from back in Desert Storm, and he's going to be coming on the show. He just started jiu-jitsu.
Oh, nice.
Like I think like 6 or 8 months ago.
Sweet.
You know, and
you liked it?
I didn't even know he was doing it.
Oh, yeah. Cool.
And then we talked the other night. We reconnected on
like,
Facebook.
Yeah.
But this is going to be he's heading off to actually have a special procedure done for his eyesight.
Okay.
So big. I want to give Mike Barnett a big shout out here, and good luck, buddy. Give me a holler back when you get back from that, for sure. And we'll get you on the show. But here's what's fascinating about him because of his eyesight. That's why he was drawn to BJJ.
Huh.
Because of I'm going to talk to him about it, but I'm assuming here it was largely because of the grappling aspect of it. So it's not striking, right? So much.
You don't have to have like a.
So if you can feel somebody, or at least have enough wherewithal to be able to wrap
I close
someone
my
up.
eyes all the time when I roll.
Right?
I close them all the time. I do it blind sometimes. I like that. It's good.
So this is a whole new aspect of someone starting out, and so it's going to be really cool to talk to him. And he rolls both in the gi and no gi, so it's going to be really interesting to talk to him and find out.
The gi's fun, man. You got to roll them both. Got to try it both. Just for the fun of it.
I told him he said that.
Yeah, it's good. It's very good to do that.
It's a different experience completely.
Yeah, she liked the gi a lot.
I like it. It's nice. Yeah.
It's not as fast.
Yeah, it's not as fast. You sweat like shit.
You sweat like shit. If you want to lose weight, everybody out there, you want to lose weight and you don't want to go to the fucking gym, go do some gi jujitsu or even no gi jujitsu. But still, you want to really lose some weight, get that gi on, and this shit will fall off of you.
Yeah, it'd be like wrap yourself in canvas and flop around on the floor like a fish for an hour and a half.
There you go. Good. It's very good for you. You should just because a lot of people hate being, in the gym and shit. They don't like.
Now, having that aspect, so we explain this, right? So the difference here is what we train today, we don't wear a gi. So there's no canvas uniform that we're wearing. Okay?
Yeah, well, for those who don't know, a gi is like a karate outfit, is what it looks like. But it's the material is different. It's a lot more thicker. It's a thicker, woolier material.
Because you're using
you have to use it for the grip. The grip is very good.
You're grabbing a hold of people's clothing and slinging them.
So a good gi has very good grips, like whatever kind of scramble gi, or they have some good stuff like what's a Fuji's got great good gis. If you're starting out with it, go get a Fuji gi.
It's nice and soft,
and it's cheap. They have cheaper gi. They got the $100 gi, and I got her one for Christmas one year.
It's great.
It's like a little pink gi, and it's neat, It's well, it's
okay. What you guys? I was gonna say, what you guys do in the evenings?
No, but it's funny. It's got like
little pink gi.
It's with white and got pink flowers on it.
Cherry flowers.
Cherry flowers, yeah, pink cherry flowers.
It's not like totally pink.
No, but they do have those.
I've seen not accept that.
I've seen them, dude. I've seen straight pink gis. I've seen girls wear them. I've seen girls wear them at competition.
Oh, I bet.
It's so tight.
So now you prefer it. You prefer having those grips and stuff, right? Because that's an art in and of itself.
Yeah.
Sure.
And it gives you like more control.
More control.
They cannot like slip out or anything.
It makes it a little bit of a slower roll.
Yeah, it's a way slower roll.
So it's I would say even for beginners and stuff like that, it's nice for them to learn the gi, because it gives them an idea of what they're getting into, and then they try no gi and see that you have to really grapple and understand some wrestling.
The pressure,
a little bit.
I think.
Pressure.
Yeah.
The pressure.
So there's an aspect there then that in the translation of jiu-jitsu to self-defense is a person's clothing gives you an opportunity to slow them down by using their own clothing. Because that would be the translation, right? They're not wearing a gi, but they may have a jacket, a shirt. It all still applies, doesn't it?
I'm just going to take your back and choke you the fuck out. I don't care what you got on. That's it. That's it, dude. I'm going to punch you in the face, and then I'm going to take your back. It's over. And choke you out.
Be done with it. That's that. I always wondered about. Remember when Tool, when the guy climbed on stage? And,
he gave him a fresh one. Gave him a nice little nighty night.
Yeah,
I mean, I would fucking do that too, because dude, that's awesome. This guy's giving me a free rep, dude. He's giving me a real rep.
He wrapped his mic cord around the guy's neck and held him to the ground.
See, I wouldn't do that. I would just choke him out. I would actually drop the mic and just be like, all right, these guys can fix the song while I choke this dude out. It's going to be 20. Give me 20 seconds, dude. 20 seconds. Dude will be out. But that'd be fucking funny as hell if that happened.
Yeah,
I would never do it anyway, but that's just funny. It's just funny. Like that's how like intense that dude is. Like,
if you're gonna be on the stage, you're gonna make you part of the show.
Yeah, dude. Yeah. I mean, we in metal, like it's cool. We like to have stage divers and stuff. I don't have a problem with it. I think it's fun. I remember being at Napalm Death shows and stuff, and that's what the kids did. They got on stage and they dived off, and you caught them. It's fun, man. And so I love it. I love when fans go nuts and jump on the stage and do backflips and shit.
It's kind of part of the event.
Yeah, get nutty, go crazy.
Mosh pits,
dude. In Mexico, like when I played in Mexico, that was a sick crowd because they were all about that. They were jumping in the air. They sing along. They know the songs. They know everything. It's cool.
Yeah,
yeah. Mexican fans are sweet.
I travel down to Tijuana every now and then, and God, I love it down there.
Yeah, it's cool, right? Yeah. Mexico City. I've been to Mexico City.
People are awesome. I mean, such a bad rep. I was all warned.
Oh, sure.
Be careful. You're going to Tijuana.
No, man, dude, it was tight.
So much fun.
We did too, dude. We had a blast. And the production company that was there, we had some nice people taking care of us too. So it was cool.
I was totally like envisioning like donkeys pulling carts.
No, dude.
And it's coffee shops, casinos.
It's okay.
It's a happening.
But of course,
place.
there are some shitty areas. But there's fucking shitty areas everywhere. I mean, there's ghettos in every city and country.
It was weird because I felt safe walking around in downtown Tijuana at night as I would in Boston outside.
Yeah, Tijuana's a pretty big city now, so it's cool.
It's a great town, man.
I've never been there. I've just been to Mexico City though. Good stuff. Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah, that's I know a lot of bands, especially in South America and stuff. Metal bands are starting to have a huge resurgence.
They've always had a big following there. We've always had fans from there. They love Melodeath. They love the kind of music we play.
Yeah,
they like it a lot. It's a big scene there. It's cool.
So we talked about this too beforehand. So you speak two languages:
Greek and Finnish and English.
So 3.
Yeah.
And you speak, what was it? It was
Russian, Ukrainian, and English.
In English.
Yeah, so pretty much 3 as well.
Yeah. And you kick the shit out of German if you need to.
A little bit.
She can get some German out there.
I can read a little bit, but
I can read some Swedish and speak a little French and stuff like that. But I mean, I'm not like the best. get a little bit.
Yeah.
It's just kind of cool because the more traveled you are, the better perspective that you have about sort of things and stuff like that. And I've heard also that the more languages you speak, that same thing applies too.
Yep.
Like there's a weird culturalization. That's a word. That happens when you learn somebody else's language.
Yeah, for sure. Because you express the same thought, but other language has a different express.
Yeah.
That, in English, one phrase, it's 3 words, and in Russian to express it, you need to use 5 words.
Yeah.
So it gives you more perspective of a language and stuff like that.
It's amazing how powerful how the words are that people use to communicate with each other can be.
Yeah, it's cool. It's nice. It's nice to have different languages and different expressions around. It's people always give America a bad rap because of that, because the land is so big. You know what I mean?
No one speaks any.
Well, no one speaks any different languages, but it's because the land's so big.
Yeah.
So. It's true. Yeah, you have no neighbors.
There's no neighbors. It's just Canada and Mexico, and that's not. There's all these states in between that,
and they all speak English.
Yeah, and that's why, because you're not next to in Finland, for instance. Sweden's right next door. Yeah. So there's a whole nother culture, a whole nother language. So it makes sense that you would be able to understand the language. But in America, you're right next to Canada. What else are you going to do?
Yep.
Some French? You know what I mean? Okay.
French Canadian.
But there's only one little spot in Canada that speaks French. You know what I mean? Compared to the massive size of America and even Canada. And same thing with Mexico. It's not that. Mexico's not even close to as big as America. Yeah. So it doesn't make sense for Americans to have to know another language. I don't understand what the big deal is.
Well, it's
just something I think Europeans made fun of them for, just because then it was easy to make fun of them about them. You don't know how to do shit. You know what I mean? So that because they were all, we're better than you.
You only speak 2 languages.
We only speak 1 language, freak.
When I went down to Mexico, it surprised me. Everybody spoke English. I was like, oh man, how am I going to communicate with people when I'm trying to remember high school Spanish?
Yeah, I mean, they watch a lot of American films there too, I'm sure. They don't I don't think they dub the films there, do they?
They either speak, because it's so close to California. Tijuana's you can literally.
I would say the countries that just subtitle their movies and their media, those ones always end up having the best English.
Yeah.
And then the ones that actually dub it, like the French and the Germans and shit, then that's why no one there speaks English, is because they can't understand. They're not even taking in anything.
It's not artsy enough anyway.
Yeah, they change it. They put German words over it.
Well, yeah, they dub it. That's how we do it.
Don't do it.
We
It's
double
bad.
everything.
That's
Because
why.
we
That's
don't
why
like to
none of y'all
read
can speak
shit.
English too. That's why y'all
Well,
terrible at it.
No, that's not why. We have a
Yes,
iron
it's-
curtain.
Yes, and broadstand.
That's right.
There's still an iron
That is-
curtain?
No, there was an iron curtain.
Yeah, there was,
Well,
definitely.
that's why we don't speak English. Because my parents, when they were in school, they weren't allowed to speak English because they can become,
Radicalized.
yeah, exactly.
against
And they
the
will
state,
go into
yeah.
all the secrets to some bad Americans.
They will.
That's why my parents never learned English, and I was the first generation who actually could like go and pick a language and I can learn it.
Well, no more excuses.
That's it. Now
Watch all
everyone
these
speaks
movies.
English.
Let's go.
That's right.
Now, how did you end up in the U.S.?
Oh, I just ran away.
That's good stuff.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with that. I think about it all the fucking time.
No, she didn't.
I'm kidding. I did. And I'm not thinking about running away, honey. I'm not thinking about running away.
They're not runaways,
No,
man.
I just came to study. I just after my university in Ukraine, I decided to go and get an education in America. In the legal field, I was interested in that, so I just got accepted into college and picked New York City and just packed my bags and here I go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of kids do that.
Yeah, we'll do it.
Yeah.
Just,
Dude, and especially in New York, there's a ton of kids that are doing that there.
Yeah,
They're
yeah.
all from somewhere else.
Yep.
They're going there to learn and do
Yeah, when
stuff.
you get into bigger cities, you start to run into a lot more of
Yeah, we saw them
people
when we
that-
were on the fucking subway.
yeah, they're everywhere.
Everywhere.
I couldn't get away. I was trying to get away, and be like trying to be as get another culture in, and
Yeah.
not be sitting in Brighton Beach and be in Russian culture. It's like,
Right.
what's the point?
Yeah, Brighton
So,
Beach,
yeah,
that area
so
is
I don't
very
see-
Russian.
Yeah, I don't see a
It's
point in
cool.
hanging out with Russian culture if I want to be in America. I'll just stay in Russia,
Yeah.
So
They
yeah,
got good food there, though, in
The
Brighton
food was
Beach.
sweet, yeah.
Coney
yeah.
Island, son. Represent. Love Coney Island.
Yeah.
R.I.P.
Yeah, for
Tight.
sure. Yeah, well, that was cool. That was fun. But yeah, I was trying. But
A lot of characters out there.
Russians are everywhere. Honestly, it's like it's cool. That's cool though. My neighbor was Russian in Brooklyn. It was sweet.
Yeah,
Like,
she was a nice old
sweet
lady.
old lady. She was cool. She was like, I saw her in the gym a couple of times. I was
Yeah.
like, oh hell
This
yeah.
old lady was going to the gym.
Yeah.
She
It
was
was
working
pretty
out,
fun.
huh?
Yeah,
I
dude,
like,
she was
look at
old,
her.
lived by herself, dude. She was like, "Fuck it, I'm going." And it's cold out there, man. She's like, "I'm walking. Let's do it."
Yeah. It was cool. It was cool. It was nice because like all the nice Russians obviously moved there, and you understand each other better, why you did it, and all that stuff.
I know there's a lot of areas in the former Soviet Union that went through like rapid, I guess for lack of a better word, would be westernization.
Yeah.
So it was like they went from not having
We were just talking about that yesterday.
they went from like not having telephones to having cell phones.
Yep.
Yeah, exactly.
Like boom, overnight it
Yeah,
was.
yeah.
And China's the
remember-
same
yeah.
way. There's places in China that happened to too. They never even built telephone lines.
That's
They went
great.
straight to cell phone
Yeah,
towers.
yeah. It's
Yeah.
interesting, which is good. I mean, it just shows progression. People are
Yeah, that's
progressing.
great.
So that's what
That's
you want.
the way to go. for
Do you
sure.
find did you find the culture here easy to like acclimate to?
Oh yeah, man.
Yeah.
Because speaking of cultural shock, because my parents were telling me like, oh, you'll go to America, you will have a cultural shock because there's such different people and blah blah blah. And I come here, and it was like before I came to study. I came like 2 years before to just go in Florida. I worked there, and they were like, oh, it's gonna be terrible, different people, different culture. So I come here and it's all sweet and cool, and everyone's like awesome. I'm like, oh, sweet, awesome. I don't want to go back. And then I go back, and then I have a cultural shock.
Yeah.
When you went back to
When I go back, I see, like how people are different, and like I see all the limitations and all that stuff, and like everything. So I was like, oh shit, man, that sucks.
Let's
Yeah.
get to work.
I'm like, oh, I better get the hell out of here.
So people here have it pretty easy then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like,
Oh my
it's
God,
pretty
yeah.
nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why I don't know. Everyone's like, why don't you go back to Finland? Fuck that, dude.
Exactly.
The place is cold. There's way more opportunities here.
Yeah.
For sure. And I was going to New York, and I was like, oh, you New Yorkers are assholes. Don't go to New York. Go somewhere like,
Yeah,
like,
it's-
okay, cool. And they go to New York, and I was like, nice. Compared to Ukraine people,
Yeah.
if you go to the subway in Ukraine, the lady will shove her elbow up your ribs to like push you away.
Yeah.
It's not really nice.
Make some room for grandma.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So I'm not really.
Yeah, there are definitely cultures that don't have the issues with personal body space
Yeah, it's like.
that
No.
we have here. And when you first go into them, it's like, what the hell is going on? What,
Right.
You want to fight?
Yeah.
And it's not, that's just how they are.
That's
you
how
know?
they are.
It's kind of bizarre, but
Yeah, people think Greek people are always arguing when they're talking,
Yeah.
but they're not.
Italian
They
people
Just
are always.
yell. Yeah, it's like that
Yeah,
too. Yeah,
you
you
just-
just yell.
German.
Just
Germans.
speak loud, okay?
Speak loud.
Yeah.
Talking shit.
I always wondered how Germans would like, how Germans sound when they're trying to be romantic. Like, is that even possible? Whatever, you know, it's always so angry sounding and so abrupt.
Yeah, I bet it doesn't work very well.
Oh, shit. So, all right, so what do we do here? We've done an hour.
Wow.
Nice.
Yeah. Cruised right in on
That was really
easy,
fast.
huh?
That went by really quick.
Yeah.
So, you promoting anything right now?
Just that, yeah. Just going, just the Forever Burn stuff. Just check it out on Bandcamp, Forever Burn, and we'll be doing a show soon. I'll probably be on the podcast again before we ever do.
Hell yeah!
Before we do the show. So, till then, yeah. Everything else is secret.
Secret.
Yeah.
So there's stuff in the works.
Yeah.
But it's a secret.
Like I said, there's this thing I'm doing with a Australian guy. Who's in a band with a very famous a drummer who's, I'll just say, he's Swedish.
Okay.
but yeah, so we're doing this and he's getting it prepared and I don't want to blow it for him. And
I understand.
I'll let him announce it.
Yep.
And then I'll come over here and we'll promote it.
We'll talk the hell out of it.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right, so I guess that's the show then, folks. Thanks
Sweet.
for listening. Check us out, noshitcast.com. All the links to where you can consume podcast media are hidden in there under super secret. No, it's on the right-hand side. Just click on what you want to look at.
Clicky click.
So other than that, we'll catch you all next time. Thanks for listening, and bye, Sickles.
Torre,